will either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Quote said by Harvey Dent or Two-Face in the movie The Dark Knight. Great movie, by the way, but this quote fully encapsulates Ethan Klein's evolution, or more or less de-evolution of character in today's online space. Much like Two-Face, depending on who you ask, Ethan is either a controversial figure who was once YouTube royalty but is now not, or he's one of, if not the most entertaining people to exist on the website. But how did we get here? And why is Ethan's reputation so skewed? Well, I think I can somewhat answer that with a situation that just happened pretty recently. Now, I'll say as a disclaimer, it's a lot more complex than this, but this is just one reason. But let's take a step back to a couple weeks ago. Ethan is and always has been a troll at heart. Whether that's why he comes off so coarse to some people is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, but in this case is relevant here because of one moment that happened on the H3 podcast. But instead of telling you how this whole situation started, let me just show you.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
Yeah.
You argue with people on the internet and you get charged up, and you gotta realize that you're probably talking to someone that looks like this. And what I mean by that is a pimply-faced kid who, you know, he's a know-nothing.
Yeah.
These are the people, you gotta remember what's going on the internet. Like, if I met this kid in real life, I would literally you wouldn't think twice about him. Yeah, I mean, this is Nicholas Diorio.
Yeah. That's a good one, AJ.
With that Weekend at what was it? Weekend at Bernie's? What's that movie?
Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's.
And again, listen.
Cool guy.
Exactly. So this is the kind of person that is a tough guy on the internet, you know. So shout out to at least Keemstar shows his face, and you can goof on him for his face.
This is Nicholas Diorio, a commentary channel here on YouTube. You should go check him out. Makes pretty good stuff, but he's relevant here because he's kind of the starting factor in kicking this whole thing off in the first place. More specifically, his association to Keemstar is really what sparked this to begin with, and if you know anything about Ethan and Keemstar, you know that they have a heated past, to say the least. But after seeing Ethan's clip, you may be confused. It seemed like just a stupid joke or observation, but what's the big deal? Well, Ethan's audience took this as Ethan fat-shaming Nick, as you see here.
On my dad.
Who's body shaming anyone? I'm seeing people.
I literally didn't even comment on his body.
You guys are projecting a little bit here.
I didn't say a single freaking comment.
Well, I guess you said that he was pimply.
What?
You said that he was pimply, I guess. Is that body shaming?
No.
Pimples?
Saying he has pimples? We all had pimples.
It's
My point is that he's a child.
That he's a child, yes.
Yeah. Okay, guys, am I not... let me ask you something. Am I not allowed to talk about anybody who's over... Like, what is your point? I didn't make a single comment about his body.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Then nobody's allowed to talk shit about me. I'm fat. Don't say anything about me.
And whether it's justified or not, it happened. But take note to his reaction. He's pretty comfortable making jokes or snide remarks about other people's images, which honestly I could care less about. But this reaction is going to be very relevant soon. But let's fast forward a couple weeks and see the climax of our story unfold. Now, with context over, let's go into the meat of this whole situation and introduce one more character. This is Turkey Tom, another commentary channel who makes pretty good content. You should also check him out. But he is kind of the main catalyst that started this whole downfall in the first place. And the thing that sparked this whole situation was this picture that Tom posted on August 4th. And that was pretty much it. Just the picture, no caption, not really anything else. It was just the picture. And the reason this got such a huge reaction in the first place is because Ethan's fans found this tweet, and they have a way of creating any situation, regardless of how big or small, into something even bigger than what it is. And when they saw this, they were upset. Now, obviously Tom posted the picture to get some kind of reactions, but the main trend that you'll see in a lot of these comments is that they're accusing him of fat phobia, which is Michael Jordan Space Jam levels of reach in my opinion. It's literally just a picture of Ethan, and while I will say in an unflattering angle, just a picture. But eventually this reached Ethan and he commented on it himself.
Funny, people have been actually unironically fat shaming me on Twitter for this. There was a tweet that has just like 30,000 likes and people are just fat shaming me, like unironically.
Shame.
It's awesome.
Shame.
It's embarrassing for them. You're like in on the joke too. Like, you know that
I posted the photo. The only reason, literally, I posted it.
Yeah.
That's why they have it. But okay, that happens. That's something that happens like to me all the time. I post shit that makes me look dumb or fat or ugly or whatever, and then people go, "Look at this fat, ugly idiot!
What a fucking clown! L.
He's so fat.
Ratio U.
Fat loser." Yeah.
Look, here's the deal.
All right.
Kind of having the same opinion as his audience, saying that this was some kind of fat-phobic attack on him. But to me, this comes full circle for Ethan. And the fact a video like this can even exist kind of shows you the split that Ethan's character has made in today's online space, as the disparity between his character then and now is kind of ridiculous. If you would have told me 5-6 years ago that Ethan would be hated as much as Keem, I would have told you were insane, but nowadays it's kind of seeming like it. On YouTube, your channel either dies a hero or lives long enough to become a hypocrite. And I don't know if Ethan has just always been this way and over the past however many years we've seen the real Ethan do the podcast, or if Ethan's change is something that was caused from another issue entirely, but it's odd nonetheless. Ethan is at a point now where he's had to change his whole online persona completely, going from an edgy creator who wasn't afraid to cross the line if need be, to a self-serious, sensitive, brash person who can dish it out but can't take it himself. And this stark contrast is something I've seen relatively early on into the podcast lifecycle. And while I might not be a fan of this new Ethan, I doubt we'll ever see the old one, as the old H3 channel hasn't seen an upload in 2 years. And I think it's very safe to say that the podcast is just straight up more profitable. But at least we can look back on the old videos and remember the good times. But really, ultimately, I'm making this as an angry former fan who was a really big fan of H3 and Ethan in general. And I don't know if it's just me growing into an adult or Ethan changing, but it just seems like we've come so far from the guy who just used to make fun of people on his computer screen. But all I know is that this once great creator has turned into the very thing he hates the most, and it's just sad to see. And not sad in a way like you lost a relative, but in a way of you seeing a good friend that you once had go down a path that you know is not good for them. Seeing Ethan, who was once this bastion of the community, someone who was praised universally by almost everyone in the space, now crumble into someone who's unrecognizable is truly a sad thing to see. And at this point, he's turning into someone who's unrecognizable from the Ethan we used to know. If you want to see me talk about some more creators that are on the space that are popular, check out this video. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.